morning, everyone. Mr. Farhat Ahmeidah, PhD in management, and today we will talk about how can a student move from a scientific problematic in his thesis to a problem to solve to create his own startup. So what we're going to say today is dedicated for the students who are members of the incubators. So first thing that we're going to see is the definition of startup, because we all want to create a startup in universities. So startups has many definitions. So we've chosen one which starts with a problem whose solution is not obvious. So the main thing in this definition that any startup, the beginning of it, it has to be a problem in a market. So how can we define this market? What are the tools, and how can a student use these tools to define these problems? The good thing is all the members of the incubators, they have already their own problems, but the problematic is a scientific problematic. Is it possible to make this scientific problematic a problem to create your own startup? This is what we're going to see today. So, a scientific problem to a startup idea. How can we generate an idea for startups? We have many tools. So, let me resume you. The first thing, you have your own problematic, scientific problematic. The scientific problematic, the first tool that we're going to use is what we call the need. That means when we create a problematic, it has to have a relation with a problem or the need. And this need, it has to follow three main things. First thing, it has to be economic need. Maybe in the economic life, we have some issues, some problems that we have to define a problem to solve it. And this problem in general, it's a master or a thesis. So we try to define some problematic that has a relation with economic life. Second thing is the daily life. We have many startups who solve many problems who have a relation with the daily life. So we have economic life, daily life. The last one is your professional experience. As a student, you might work on a thesis or in a topic during 2-3 years that you think that are really important. So the three main things are, the main three characteristics are the characteristic that any problem has to put as steps to make it more suitable to the market needs. The second thing that according to the 1275 decision, that means all the students, they have their own thesis and problematic. This problematic, it has to be first solved. That means when I have a problem or an idea that I want to share or to solve, the first thing that I have to put in mind is it possible that one day I can solve this idea? Do we have a market? Do we have someone who can buy my product? Because we're talking about idea, but after that, it's going to be a product or solution or a service. So I have to think always about my customer. And when we talk about customer in startups, in beginning, we might not have a customer. So we try to find out and to think and to imagine a customer and its needs. The second thing is feasibility. Is it possible for me to make this product and produce it, or can I find a real solution? That means some students or some problematic, they cannot be translated into a product, or it can cost them very, very expensive. So I'll try to make this problem as simple as possible to make it feasible. And this comes in what we called an MVP, the minimum viable product. That means I try to give to the market a really simple version of my product. Why? That means I'm going to gain time, that I'm going to take a long time to get a whole product with all characteristics. I have to try to start with a simple characteristic that I can make. Second thing, I don't know what really my customer needs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give them the first MVP. The feedback of the use of the MVP is going to be the new characteristic of my product. That way, in the end, I will have a complete product with that fits the needs of my customer. The last point is technology. We know all that startups is matter of technology. Why? Because when we talk about startups, we talk about scalability. So scalability, the technology is going to help the startups to grow very, very fast. We can give an example of all startups that you know, that all startups and now they are scale up or they are a unicorn or whatever. They started all with technology. So always try to find out how can I use technology to spread my startups. So the three main characteristics to any problem is solve my customer, feasibility for me, can I produce it? Third thing, use technology. Next thing that we're going to say is, what are the tools that are going to help me to make my problematic as simple as possible? I'm going to repeat it, as simple as possible. The first thing is brainstorming. Second one, zero draft and Scamper. And we know Scamper, sorry. We know that there are more than 3 tools. We can find I know more than 30 tools, but the ones who are more used are these 3. We're going to start by first one, the brainstorming, and how can we use it? What is a brainstorming and how can we use it? A brainstorming is a technique that we use the 6-3-5. It means we can have 6 people with the same idea, working on the same subject. They're going to write 3 ideas in each sheet, and we have 5 minutes. In the end, in 5 minutes, we will have more than 100 ideas. We use the brainstorming here to generate a new idea, to try to think out of the box. What does it mean thinking out of the box using the brainstorming? That means as a startup or as a student, we don't have to think as we think. That means I'm going to say, I'm going to produce the product and I'm going to see it like this. The customer doesn't have the same idea, the same needs as you. So always try to use as much, to contribute as much as possible and include people, friends, relatives, and others who's working with you in the incubator. Try to ask them the questions using the brainstorming, and they might give you new ideas. Of course, always put in mind that you have to do the daily life, economics, professional lives, feasible, can be solved, and technology as a basement. Second technique is the zero draft. The zero draft is used to generate a new idea for some who can have some problems to generate idea, because in general, students and startups, when they have the idea, they commit to it. They're not going to change it. And this is one of the big mistakes. We have always to have an open mind in how are we going to think and to conceptualize our product. So the zero draft based on generating ideas. The idea is write down everything you currently know about the subject. Anything. You write, and nothing is correct or false. You write everything that you know. The second thing is try to write things that you would know about your subject. What do you want to learn about your subject? Third thing is think topics you think that are really important to your topics, things that you want to learn about your topics. And these 3 questions, is going to help you to generate more ideas. So we're starting by the brainstorming, trying to use your collaborators to generate more idea. Then we are going to use the zero draft. It means all the ideas are correct. There's no false or good idea, to generate more idea according to your subject. The last one is add any idea that crosses your mind. It's an opportunity to let you know what is in your mind. Write everything about your topic. And here comes in the imagination, comes into play. Why imagination? The most successful startups who brings a simple idea to simple problems. And when we are students, our scientific topics are, you can say, are pretty complicated. So the complication, it doesn't feed the market. The market needs simple needs and simple solutions. So try always to keep it simple. The last tool that we're going to see today, this is what we call the exercise to overcome the blockage. The persons who can imagine, who can think correct, they use the whiteboard and write any idea according to the 4 questions seen before, and the whole idea is going to give you a whole picture of your topics that you have to learn. The last one is called Scamper. Scamper is an acronym for these tools. Each letter is according to a tool. This tool, we use it to improve any idea, to resolve a problem, or to get more features to your product. So Scamper, the first one, is to substitute. What could be replaced in your idea, in your prototype, or in your product if you have a product? What are things that we can substitute? Take them and change them. And we have many examples in startups and products. So that means some things are complicated to use, some things are they are not anymore used. So I have to think about to substitute some new features. Second thing is to combine 2 or 3 features in one feature. That way we have a simple product. Third one is to adapt a new technology, a new use, a new shapes to make it easy for the use. Next one is to modify the use of it, the shape of it, the conception of the product, to suggest a new use for this product. We cannot use it only for one thing, but 2 or 3 things. That way we're gonna have a target to more large customers. And after that, we have to eliminate some features that we are not important, using the lean startup or the lean management if you want. And the last one, we have to reorganize our product, our idea, and our conception of our problematic. And that way, what we have to do, we started from complicated problematic, scientific problematic, to a real simple idea, or simple problematic to solve by creating your own startup. Thank you very much.